It's a very appropriate time for you to meet the two gentlemen you're about to see. They are Mr. Bruce Jenner, who you saw on national television. His face and talents were revealed all over the world.
All of it.
And Ivan Stewart, who's had a great deal of fame, maybe not quite as much, but just about.
Not quite.
The reason they're on the show together is because Ivan has entered in the Frontier 500, and he's won many off-road races. And this year, Bruce, you're going to be riding with Ivan.
Yes.
And you're going to be hanging on with dear life. Is that how you do it?
That's about it. They got a little sissy bar right there that you can hold on to, and I have a firm grip on that. But I race on the IMSA circuit. I usually do road racing.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that off and on for about the last 5 years. And they called me, since I have an association with Ford Motor Company, and just so happens that Ivan's driving a big Ford truck. They said, well, how would you like to ride with Ivan? I said, really? Well, that sort of sounds like fun. You know, that's an adventure. And so I met with Ivan and wound up driving with him. And it will be an experience. Whether I like it or I think I will enjoy the experience right now. Now, Bruce, ask me that question when I'm in Reno.
Okay.
You know, and we'll see.
Well, you've actually done a pre-run.
Yes, we have.
So you got a feel for it.
Oh,
Is
yes.
this the first time you've done off-road?
Yes, I've been involved with motocross and motorcycles for many years and raced a little bit here and there, and I ride my bike all the time off-road. And so that's really the only experience I have. I raced a Jeep one time in an off-road race, and in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. But I find it an awful lot like, in one way, snow skiing, where you're coming down a very steep hill, you're going very fast, but you have the terrain that you have to read in front of you. Yeah. And that's one thing that experience in this type of sport is so important. That's where Ivan comes in, because he has that sense, because he's been doing it so long. When you're going into a turn, what's on the other side of the turn? Or that bump, how that bump is going to react, or what the next bump looks. And they're looking so far down the road and actually reading what's happening down the road. That's really a skill, and it's a type of racing that you really have to spend a lot of time doing. You just can't jump in and go real fast.
I'm sure, Ivan, that you wouldn't have just anybody sitting next to you, and because of your fame and how responsible the guy sitting next to you really is. He's not just sitting there riding, is he?
Well, there's quite a bit to do. We've pre-run together, and you know, he knows the course now, and he knows where the turns are and the bad ditches, and where we're going to be gassing. And you know, if we have some trouble with the truck, we're going to have to both team effort and
send me. Okay, Bruce, it's 2 miles that way. Go get a wrench.
I know he can run.
A wrench. Yeah, that's the reason. Or else lift the side of the truck, because we got to change something.
Hopefully there won't be any trouble like that. It'll just be a matter of watching the gauges and
you're hoping. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But he can be an important part of what you're doing.
Well, you help navigate. You help see all the places where you're going. You're reading the gauges, making sure that the engine temperatures stay everything right, and the transmission temperatures and all these gauges stay right, and really looking out for where the competition is, because Walker is starting right behind us. You'll talk to him in a second. He's starting right behind us, which is this race has been unique, and I guess you can tell us about this. We're going to be able to start up in the front.
Yeah,
what about it, Ivan? You were here last year.
Yeah, we won last year. Right. Had a good race, decent race, and won. I think we finished 15th or 16th overall with quite a bit of trouble. Yeah, and this year we're starting the top 20 cars, regardless of what class. The top 20 fastest cars from a race we had at Barstow will start in the top 20. So we've got a good shot this year without any dust. Last year, a big factor was the dust. So it'll be much better for us.
Ivan, you have won the Mint 400 twice, and you are now going into Indy driving.
No,
not
yet. There's if something come up, I'd do it, you know, but...
You're not going to...
Actually, he has actually done a little bit of road racing. He went up, took a class, and actually got himself out on the pavement, and it's a different type of racing.
It is, yeah, complete different. It's road racing is much tougher than I thought.
Is that right?
I tried some of Bruce's stuff, and yeah, it takes a lot of concentration, and it's tough.
I'll keep the road racing. You can take the road racing.
In off-road racing, you have very, very big credits. And tell us about some of the things you've done.
Well, the Ironman, I think, won the Baja 500 6 times total, that race, and then 2 times in the Baja 500 solo, where you win an Ironman award if you can do it. If you sign up solo, drive the whole race, and then win either the 500 or the Baja 1000 solo. I won that, and then driver of the year, 3 or 4 different classes. I've probably driven more variety of cars than most people.
I see.
In fact, Johnny Johnson and I were figuring the other night that him and I have both probably driven in one more in different types of classes, from big trucks to small trucks to buggies to A lot of variety.
Let me tell you, it's really a credit to Ivan to be able to drive that long. And we run in the IMSA races, we can run anywhere from 3 hours to one 24-hour race. But it's very demanding inside his truck. I mean, there's a lot to be done, and to be out there and to be concentrating and working very hard from, you know, like 10 to 12 hours, how long this race will take us. And it's really a credit to Ivan. I mean, look at his, you know, he's been doing this for 10 years. He's got the body of a 20-year-old. It can't be all that bad, you know?
You know, I'm wondering about you, Bruce. You've had such fame, and you're endorsed by so many great products. Now you're with Ford, and you had such fame so fast. How do you handle that? Are you having to do things like the Frontier 500 to keep your interest up and spirits? And
well, my interest in spirits is very high. How I keep up with it, and I just had my 4th child. That'll keep you young.
Wow.
Right there. Yeah, I just had my 4th little one about almost 2 weeks ago now. Almost 2 weeks old, little Brody, and 3 boys and 1 girl.
Wow.
But that'll keep you young. But no, I fortunately, because of the games and the notoriety that I got there, and all of a sudden you were thrust out in front of the public, a lot of good things came my way. I mean, a lot of job opportunities, and I've been able to continue to work in those areas, which I've really enjoyed, and I enjoy that. It's I've been able to do a lot of fun things, like come up here and run in the Frontier 500 with Ivan. And those are fun to me, and they opened, fortunately, the games opened up some doors, and I've been able to sort of sneak my way in. I'm my own boss. I choose what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And when opportunities like this come about, I say, why not? You know, I mean, this is an experience that, I mean, anybody would say yes, of course they would ride with it.
Where do you live, Bruce?
I live in Los Angeles now.
With the Olympics coming up next year, are you going to be doing anything with that, commentating?
Well,
network?
it just so happens, I have been, since this is an independent network, I've been with NBC for 5 years, and it just so happens my contract is up in 2 months. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, we're in the middle of negotiations right now, so what my involvement is, I don't know. I'm involved with a lot of sponsors that are involved with the games, and I'll be doing a lot of different things with the LA organizing committee. But as far as my how much television I will actually be doing, I don't know at this point, but I'll know more by October 29th.
You live in Los Angeles. What about the smog? How much is it going to affect?
0, no problem.
Is that right? Really? You
no
say that?
Problem. The smoggiest city in the world, or one of the smoggiest, worse than Los Angeles, is Mexico City. And not only was that smoggy, it had tremendous, the altitude was so high. And so, no. And they run competitions in Los Angeles all the time. Why should all of a sudden, just because of an Olympic Games coming to town, smog's going to make any difference? No, it will not. The only areas that you really have the bad smog is back in the San Bernardino area and those areas. And the only thing they have back there really is shooting. So obviously that's not a problem.
Right.
The Coliseum is not that bad, unless you have an absolutely terrible smog problem, you know, for that week or 2 weeks during the games, or a couple of days of it, big smog alerts. Even that will not affect the athlete. And honestly, it won't. It really won't.
You know, Ivan, you've got to acknowledge the fact that people like Bruce Jenner and Larry Wilcox and other famous personalities entering off-road racing, it's really giving the sport added spirit and stature, isn't it?
Sure, I think so. Yeah, I think when people, Bruce, I can watch him as we're pre-running and watch him, and we tested the truck a little bit and see that he really likes it. You know, I mean, he gets in there and I can see that he really gets the feel for what we're doing, the competition. Yeah, it's great. I think I like to see people come in that when they come in, they enjoy it. You know, Bruce and Larry Wilcox, whatever. I mean, it's the whole, you know, it's the sport that I do.
Yeah. It is fun, because, you know, obviously Ivan's very close to him, and he does it all the time, and he does it for a living. That's the way he makes his living at it. And we come in, and luckily, one thing that's been nice is, especially with this, I think probably off-road more than anything, is the people are so nice. I mean, we come a celebrity or a name. Sometimes people can be a little bit hostile towards you because you come in and you may get a real good ride when they've been racing for 5 years and haven't been able to get that ride, but because of your name, all of a sudden you're out there. But with off-road racing, the people have been so friendly, so nice. I mean, they're you know, you can't ask for a better experience. You know,
I kind of pride our sport that way. Everybody, most everybody I talk to says, you know, the people are really down to earth, good
in off-road
racing. Yeah, sure.
Here, I mean, here's Ivan's big competition, Walker. I mean, they're starting right next to each other almost. 30 seconds difference at the start, but they're friends, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll see tomorrow when the green flag goes. If they're still friends, I'll be watching. So we'll see how it goes for the race.
Well, I hope Vegas treats you very well. I'm sure they will, being you're at the Frontier Hotel. And,
yeah, they're taking care of us.
Have you been to Vegas before?
Oh, yeah, many times. I do the commentary, in fact, on the Caesars race.
Ah, that's
the Grand Prix for the last couple of years. Been doing that. So I'm in town a lot to work, a lot of conventions and things like that.
Sounds good.
Close to Los Angeles.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Ivan, the very best of luck to you. Tomorrow, Class 8 is your division.
Right.
And we're going to be talking with Walker Evans, who's in your same division, and you guys will be competing against each other, and we'll see what
Certainly
happens.
will.
And Bruce, really the very best of you. You're a great guy, and it's
thank you.
nice having somebody represent the United States as you have.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.